Back at Warrior Park, Keith Myers, Steve McClure, as we head to the bottom half of the second inning. Here's Steve.
Thank you, Keith. Steve McClure, along with the coach, Keith Myers, here on Indiana SRN on a beautiful day in Indianapolis as we have finally reached officially spring weather. You know, spring started on March the 20th, and here it is April the 16th, so it's a little bit of a late arrival, but finally, baseball weather. Here in the bottom half of the second inning, the Warriors will send to the plate Caleb Kreisen, Connor Kreisen, and Reed Rapogel.
So the groundhog was wrong, wasn't he?
Exactly wrong. On the hill for the Crusaders, Sean Murphy, the left-hander, delivers, and the ball hit off to the right side. So that'll take the count to 1 ball and no strikes. Each team with 1 base hit.
You get a kick out of this. I was sitting with Bob McLean yesterday at Chittard. Chittard was playing Lutheran. And I said, Bob, do you think you ever should give money back when you're wrong? He goes, well, I would have never made any money.
Bob McLean, you got a swoop, right?
Exactly. That's
the
what they called him.
At RTV6. What a great guy he was. So, and still doing his work up there at Chittard. Always enjoy seeing him. 1 ball and 2 strikes as Caleb Kreisen tried to bunt it off to the right side, but it went foul. Standing in from the right side, waving that big black bat around, and here's the pitch, shot to the second baseman, picked up there by Jeremy O'Day, and on to first for the out, retired by Junior Angeles. So 1 out in the inning, and that'll bring to the plate Connor Kreisen. That ball was hit sharply to the second baseman, but O'Day was waiting on it.
And he did everything fundamentally. Let the ball hit him in the chest, let it hit the ground, took his time, took the step, and followed all the way through with a great throw.
Perfect fundamentals. You see him getting way down on his haunches there and unable, not going to let that thing get by him. So pitch to Connor Kreisen is fouled off to the right side, so 0-1.
But with both of these coaches, with Andy and Dave, they teach those fundamentals because these coaches know the basic, Gandalf been doing this for years.
Well, Dave Gandalf, here's a ball hit out to center field, and this is going to be fielded out there at second base by Jeremy O'Day for the second out of the inning. Again, Dave Gandalf, who spent better than 30 years on the south side of Center Grove High School, you talk about old school. Dave Gandalf knows how to play baseball.
And when I walked up today and I told him, hey, we're doing game number 1, he goes, I already talked to Steve. He already knew the routine, Steve.
So 2 outs quickly here in the inning. And coming to the plate now is Reed Rapogel for the first time today. Reed swings right through it for an 0-1 count. Brilliant sunshine here in Indianapolis today. Thanks for joining us here on SRN. We're glad to be here. Here's a swing and a miss. So Rapogel down on 2 strikes with 2 outs here in the inning. On deck is the first baseman, Elliot Hines. Sean Murphy's pitch up high, but it's fouled off to the right side, so the count holds at no balls and 2 strikes.
And we have a big announcement that we can announce, but we have to wait to the 4th inning, and I cannot wait.
Okay, I can't wait to hear it. Rapogel waits at the plate, swing and a miss, and foul tip, but held on to by the catcher, Austin Cox, and that will retire him on the strikeout. In the inning for Covenant Christian, no runs, no hits, and no errors, and no one left on base. After 2 complete, it's Scecina nothing, and Covenant Christian nothing. You're listening to Indiana SRN, where you're always in the game.
Brent's going to the dinner as well.
Oh, good.
Ludlow's going to the dinner with his wife.
Great.
And then Haley's coming with Brent since Sylvia's going. So
fantastic. That'll be a nice evening. She's walking in the Cure today.
Oh, awesome.
Downtown.
That's awesome.
"28 years cancer-free. 28 years.
God is good, man.
Amen.
Man. You gotta love that.
Yeah.
He knows we need him.
Amen.
Back at Warrior Park as we head to the top half of the third inning already. Fast ball game, Steve.
Drew Lowry, along with Anthony Mitchell and Brad Mead to the plate this inning for Scecina. The designated hitter, Drew Lowry, a sophomore, 5'10", 160, stands in from the right side and wearing the number 42 on his jersey for Jackie.
Gotta love that number.
Everybody, Jackie Robinson yesterday. April the 15th, 2016. It all started on April the 15th, 1947, 69 years ago, Keith.
I wasn't around then, but either were you, were you?
I was exactly 1 year old back that time. But, you know, everybody knows the story of Jackie as to what he had. And, you know, Carl Erskine last night was the anthem harmonica player, I should say, last night at Victory Field. And, of course, Carl played with Jackie. He was a guest of Howard Kellman in the booth last night. I always enjoyed listening to Carl, and he's a personal friend of mine. So, in the batter's box right now, wearing number 42, is Drew Lowry, the designated hitter for Scecina. No score here. We're in the top half of the third inning, and a swing and a miss, and Lowry retired on strike. So Murphy continues to bear down. That strikeout number 4, Keith.
No, number 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You are correct, sir.
Going for a school record, isn't he?
The 9th man in the lineup is Anthony Mitchell. Mitchell playing center field today. Murphy to the plate, up high, but it is a called strike. Wow.
Umpire is very consistent with the outside corner.
Well, you got that zone, you know. You got to have the same zone. So good spotting and good framing there. Here's a ball hit right to the shortstop. Picked up there by Brackett. Over to first, retired for the second out of the inning. Elliot Hines stretching himself out for the second out of the inning. So retire that if you're scoring 6-3, and that'll bring to the plate the leadoff man, Brad Mead.
We were talking about Murphy, you know, those strikeouts, but the pitch count has been very good. The highest he's been was a full count, and that's only one time.
Yep, you're going to let your guys out there help you. That's why you have 8 in the field, so it doesn't have to be strikeout, strikeout, strikeout. Here's a ball that comes right back to the backstop. Down low for a ball, but no damage done there with no one out. No one on base, I should say. 2 down in the inning. Last time up, Mead struck out, but had to be retired on a throw from the catcher to the first baseman. Here's a ball hit off to the right side and out of play, so we'll get a new baseball. That'll take the count to 1 ball and 1 strike.
If you've not been to Warrior Park, there is a lot of foul ground area for the infielders, and they love it. They have a lot of room to track down those foul balls.
Well, Keith, it's so unusual because the ballpark is tucked into such a suburbia area of all the homes around it. It's so unusual. I mean, you just don't see this anywhere else. 2 balls and 1 strike now to Brad Mead, who's at the plate for the second time today for Scecina. Bat held high over his head. Murphy delivers outside for a ball. So 3-1. This is the second time today. He's been a little bit behind in the count, but there are 2 outs in the inning. So let's see what Brad Mead wants to do if he can get a pitch to hit. Here's a ball hit straight back and fielded there by Murphy on to first base for the 3rd out of the inning. So pitcher Eric Murphy off the mound in a hurry and did a nice job in fielding that. Whirled and went to his first baseman Elliot Hines for the 3rd out of the inning. If you're scoring, that'll be 1-3 here in the top half of the 3rd inning of play. It's Scecina, no runs, no hits, and no errors, and no one left on base after 2.5. It's Scecina nothing and Covenant Christian nothing. You're listening to Indiana Sports Radio Network. Well, we're just moving right along.
Yes, sir. Back at Warrior Park, Keith Myers, Steve McClure, score 0-0. Thanks for joining us on Indiana SRN. You can send us an email right now. We'll even answer that email for you. Coach,
we'd love to hear from you.
Absolutely. Coach at indianasrn.org. Send us an email. Let us know where you're listening. Our speed gun guy is right behind Steve, and we're going to have some speed times for you this end.
Also, continue to join us on Facebook, Twitter.
You do a great job.
All informed.
Yeah,
okay?
you do a great job on that.
The Covenant Christian Warriors coming to the plate here in the bottom half of the third inning. No score if you're just joining us here on SRN. Steve McClure along with the coach Keith Myers. Elliot Hines steps into the plate and hits from the left side. And the pitcher of record for Scecina, that is Sean Murphy. He's also having himself a pretty good game, allowing only one hit. That was back in the first to Eric Murphy. So Hines at the plate. First pitch fouled off to the left side. 0-1.
Game started at 11:05, and we're already at 11:44, and we're almost halfway through.
There you go. Sean Murphy delivers, called strike one over the outside corner, so that'll take the count to 0-2 now. On deck is Jake Brackett, the shortstop. Ready, Sean Murphy, and here's a ball hit out to right field. Gonna drop right in front of the right fielder in right, and he's gonna get in there for a base hit. So the second base hit of the game for Covenant puts Elliot Hines now at first.
Number 24,
Got a nice fastball up in the zone there, was able to control his bat, so this will bring to the plate the shortstop Jake Brackett. No one out here in the inning.
Brackett, a freshman. Big shoes to fill right here today.
Here's a ball, a foul ball. He tries to bunt it down the first base line, but it does roll foul, so you know that the lines down there on both first base and third bases are going to be true to the way that Andy Gossel has such a touch with taking care of this baseball field.
Got here really early this morning. I thought I would beat him. He was already here dragging.
Well, it's not just a springtime maintenance program. This is a year-round program for Andy Gossel.
You bet.
He's out here in the winter days, the fall days, doesn't really matter. He makes his home out here, and he takes magnificent care of the field. Coming in a little bit to cheat here at third base is Will Faree, the third baseman. Here's a ball popped up in the air to the pitcher, and he's going to be able to grab it for the first out of the inning. So Brackett trying to lay a bunt down, gets it up in the zone, and he fouls it off, and it goes right to the pitcher in Sean Murphy for the first out of the inning.
And fortunately, Hines had enough room to come back. Had to take a head-first slide to get there, but that's a great heads-up play by Dennis Shinley, the first base coach, to yell him